What is up, guys? So today is week 14 recap. This is going to cover week of July 6th through the 10th. So looking at the week, I am down 3.79%. That is roughly $950. Yeah, I'm still on a losing streak, but I'm more conscious of the losses, and I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just trying to build statistics on myself as a trader. So once I have those statistics pretty down pat, I will filter out the way I trade to a more accurate trading style for when I convert to real money. So like for 2 months-ish, or whenever I conclude my testing of myself, I'm going to try and follow these rules exactly and trade exactly how I would with real money. So like I know I mentioned I'm trying to do that before, but I feel like it was just too early to try and replicate real trading. Like just trade a bunch of different ways and see what fits you best. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm painting the picture slowly. I know last week I said I was getting a good picture together, but mentally I am like every day, every week, adding a little more detail to that drawing, right? Let's get into a few more things for this week. I had good sleep the entire week, no issues there, so I was very physically there and mentally able. I did a lot of stretching, so the stretching was good, kept me loose in the chair, so when I'm not cramping up or sore. So just those two little things. Let's get into the nitty gritty, and I'll bring you over to the screen and show you the actual trades. Alrighty, so here is the stats on the week. Total P&L, I'm down 1,015. When I do my percentages, I kind of round them. So this captures the exact amount. Now all of this is before commission, so just keep in mind that I'd be losing my ass with commission, with how much I've traded. Average daily gain, minus $200. Average daily volume, 27K. Average winning trade, $110. Those are very, very bad statistics. But then again, I'm still in that learning how I trade phase. So it took me a while to realize, like going into the real deal of trading and trying to replicate how you really would isn't the best right off the bat, because you need to have some stats on yourself to know what kind of a trader you are and then apply real life scenario to it. At least that's just what I'm gathering. I mean, take that with a grain of salt. You may be different, but that's how I believe it should be done. But looking at the week's performance, I was up, again, I'm up on a Monday, and I was up on a Tuesday, which was nice, so I had a 2-day streak. I was up a lot on Monday at 371, and I was up $56. I think I came back from a loss and had a little profit, so I captured it and stayed there. Then I had a big loss, or a small loss, and then I lost my composure these days. So I was aware that I'm just jumping in, and it wasn't good. So I really wish I could redo these days, because I gave myself terrible stats. I was out of it. I didn't care about my losses, which if I'm doing this, learning myself kind of trading, caring about your losses it depends on if you want to call it relevant or not, really. Because I don't know if it's that relevant that you pay attention to the loss when you're still learning stats on yourself. Keep trading until you see what works for you. Ignore the losses, focus on that, and trade from that way on in the future. So that's how I think this should go. But I just completely lost my composure, which is, it's okay, but because I'm learning like how emotional this can get. Like I'm losing. What the heck? I was up this week. Why is it like it's always lingering in my head? You were up this week. Why you're down? Fix it. You can't fix it. It's a lot of things going through your head when you're down on a week. So it doesn't go well. Performance by hour. Or duration, I do see that my longer trades tend to end well, which is odd. What else do we have? Price and volume. Performance by price. So I'm profitable on the $5 to $10 stocks, at least for this week. But once I have like a month or 2 months of this data to look at, that'll be much more accurate, because I'm only looking at a week. So in that week, how many stocks did you trade that have a varying price range of like $1, $5, $10? Not many. So take this data with like that in mind. Performance by volume traded. So when I trade a lot more, I do good. That's cool. Also costly with commissions and ECN fees. That's the stuff you got to pay for. Forgot about that. Largest gain, largest loss. So my biggest gain was 760. Let's check that out, because that was this was AYRO. So here it just kept making new highs and pullbacks, and I just kept feeding off that momentum. One of these days I will make a video on how I'm trading. Like I'll do some live trading and show you, but I don't know if that's quite relevant right now because I'm still developing something, right? I'm still painting the picture on my technique. Because yet again, I'm still following Ross Cameron's trades in the morning. Yes, I know he has his huge follow base and gets some extra boosting from the crowds that he streams to, but nonetheless, he is a profitable trader, and you can pick up some notes from him. And the things he says are, to an extent, very true. So, like, you can't just deny everything because he's boosting his performance. So he does have something that works. If you can learn from it, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to learn from his ways and develop my own. And I'm doing that right now, and it's working. It's going well. I wouldn't say it's completely there yet, but it's going well. So back to this trade. That was it. It was, see, I'm good at the later in the day momentum, like, just rises. So after the morning rush, everything calms down, and then momentum picks back up. That's when I learn I'm more profitable. And it's good because I'm learning, like how I'm a trader, or how I am as a trader, and it's really nice. So I made a lot of trades on here. Like, this was, yes. I wrote it from $5 up to $7 and captured money along the way. So that way I always captured every few minutes. I was capturing. So, like, remember, uncaptured profits doesn't mean anything. It's uncaptured. Until you capture it, it's real, right? It's real, and it's real when you capture it. Sorry. But let's check out my biggest loss. So my biggest loss. Now, if you notice, it was earlier in the morning, but this, right off the bat, I lost. I tried to find some momentum here and just did not work. I tried to catch a second wave and it didn't work. So this is where I'm telling you, like, I'm conscious that I'm losing money because I'm not selling out my losses quick enough. So these two little red spots, if I can zoom in at all. Okay, yeah, so these two guys, I should have easily just pulled it right here, but I waited. I don't know why, but I'm conscious that, like, that's a mistake. Don't do that. But once I think I have the technique down, I will definitely adjust that and keep that into consideration. Like Ross Cameron says, breakout or bailout. I can't disagree. If it doesn't work instantly, you can always get back in. So another example of the things he says aren't always, they can be true and have powerful meaning behind them. Another interesting stat is my average winning trades are 37 minutes and my average losing trades are 22 minutes. So yeah, that makes sense, as you should lose instantly and be done, as opposed to holding on to it and losing after a long time. That to me makes sense, but that 22 minutes should be a lot smaller. That's a bit long, in my opinion. For the next week, I'll still be trading quite often, probably not respecting the stop loss as much because I want to, or my max loss, not my stop loss, because I want to get that data on, trading all times of the day on the techniques I think I have and seeing when it works or what patterns work for me and whatnot. Just a quick little insight on the actual technique I'm trying to do. So there's a few things I trade, and I'm learning how to buy into dips, and my favorite one so far is the break of the previous high. So a previous high of day, like right in the early morning, is a substantial key level. And I'm trying to catch that break of it in the afternoon. And when that happens, I put a feeler in pretty low, and that's my first risk. If the price gets close to the high of the day, I start adding in with some size. Now, once it breaks, I sell 75%, hold on to 25% with a stop loss at break even. So I captured 75% of those 10, 20 cent moves, and I have a stop loss at break even, so the worst I can do is make no additional money after that. When I do that, I have to, my stop loss, this is where my stop loss issue comes in. Sometimes I won't set a stop loss at break even. I try to buy a dip and get it a lower average to move up. But sometimes it just moves way too low, and I know wow, it's churning, it's not showing positive or long momentum anymore, it's going down. And I hold on to it until it gets really low and I sell. And that's where a huge loss comes from. So a lot of my losses start off as good sized winners, and I get too cocky and I get too greedy. I try to average down and it just doesn't work. That is where I have to make the correction in my adjustment to trading. And I'm trying to learn how to dip trade because dip trades are great for getting a lower average. I just have to know when to do it, and I'm practicing that. I'm trying to add in my dip trades to somewhere in the break of the high, where if it breaks, I sell my 75%. It dips back below that level. If it stays above, I'll buy it in for a dip and it'll rise back up and possibly break that level again. So that's how I'm trying to incorporate the dip trades. It may sound confusing to you right now. I'm probably not doing the best at explaining it because it's still new to me. I'm still trying to capture it and paint that picture as well. I don't quite know the technique 100%, but that is how I can explain it. Touching on the hotkeys a little bit, I haven't changed them this week. I feel like I'm learning them pretty well, and they're well suited for what I'm trying to do. So until I find a reason to change, they're going to stay the same. So I have like two different types of hotkeys that I'm using. One is like a buy $1,000 worth, $2,500 worth, $5K worth, and $10K worth of a stock, and I'll set my stop loss accordingly. I have a button you double click on the price you want, and then you hit these certain hotkeys, and it gives you a stop loss at that level. I also have a command where I double click on the chart at a certain price point, and from the ask to that price point is a risk of $75. So if the price is at $2.50, I click at $2. That $2.50 to $2, it calculates how many shares I have to buy to risk $75 if it comes to that point, and it stops me out. It's a very cool hotkey, and I found it on YouTube actually from, I think it was Bearable Traders. I think it's something they use, but very effective hotkey if you don't want to calculate risk and you're quick. So you don't have to get a calculator out, do the math, and figure that out. It's instant. It does it for you, which is great. So with those two in mind, that's how I'm trying to trade. I think that's going to cover most of week 14 as a whole. I'm basically continuing what was happening last week and the week before. Still learning from Ross Cameron's morning streams. I'm still taking notes on that. I have his morning stream notes and the stuff he says, writing that down. So yeah, that'll just about do it for week 14. I'm down again 3.79%, roughly $1,000, and that is before commissions. I've made probably somewhere in the 100 to 300-ish range of trades in a week. So that and commissions is a lot. So once I have consistent wins and I'm doing good on every week, I will take into consideration how much the commissions would add up to before I convert to real money. Because if you're making a profit, but not enough to cover your commissions, you're not making a profit, right? With that said, that's going to do it for this video. I will see you guys next week for week 15. You guys have a good one. Happy trading, and please thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Let me know what any questions you have, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. So again, I will see you guys later. Have a good one. I'm Dylon Da Silva. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you liked it. Give this video a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all new content every week. You guys have a good one.